So I was just asked if I'd learned my lesson, Lee, about the sponsors, which I thought was very cheeky and very good. And the answer is, we'll see. Sorry about that. 2 really good pitches. You guys are here for those pitches and then one last one. The last one was a secret on purpose. There's a video about our last presenter. There's a new business that's coming out, and we'd like to show it to you.
I became an entrepreneur because I was really excited about the idea of building something from the ground up. Literally manifesting something almost magically out of like purely your thoughts and desires was really cool to me. And once I realized that a business is something that can kind of live on beyond you, I kind of poured my heart and soul into it. I was really struggling with this e-commerce business I had started, and I couldn't find the advice, the mentors, and the capital to continue to grow the business in the way that I wanted to. And it was in getting these people together to give me feedback, while at the same time giving feedback to their businesses, that we really formed that nucleus of what eventually became Verge. The thing about this community that's captivated me from day one is that feeling of making a genuine connection. It's about not just me making a genuine connection with someone else, but for me, I get the most energy out of finding 2 people that really need to be connected and making sure they meet. You know, you guys should be co-founders together. Or you know what? You need to really invest in this entrepreneur. Connecting the dots that need to be connected. For whatever reason, I'm just like internally wired to make connections like that. And this community is the vehicle that gave me that opportunity at scale.
I'd like to welcome to the stage a good friend of mine, Matt Hunkler, for our 3rd pitch.
Wow. We need the whole stage for this. What a crowd. They all came for you guys. If you can hear me, say yeah. All right, cool. Just want to make sure this thing was on. This is not going to be a normal pitch because I actually want to start with a story. And that story, I talked a little bit about it in the video, and it's really about coming to Indianapolis. I started my company right when I moved to Indianapolis. And this community that kind of formed around it is kind of want to tell you how it all came together, because I was working on this e-commerce business. It was very lonely. Sound familiar? Working late nights on a project, on an idea. It was lonely. I didn't know what the next step was. I couldn't find e-commerce experts. Now I know a ton in town. At the time, I didn't know who the e-commerce experts were. I didn't know what the next step was. And it wasn't until I met some friends and asked them to get together that I started to get a little bit of traction. We just started getting together, sharing our ideas. And if you're a local here, you will recognize that that is High Alpha partner Christian Anderson with a mohawk.
I didn't even recognize him.
Presenting what is now Octave. Literally, this is 3 months after having the idea of that. You'll also recognize in the back here one of our presenters from earlier this evening, Mr. Chris Palmer, who presented Box Fox tonight. I think you were fresh out of college, Chris, when you were here, probably just fresh out of Purdue. This nucleus of the community has grown, and it grew because of sharing. It's because we all were willing to share what we were working on, share our feedback, just the way that our advisors are doing this evening. And the cool thing is, we started sharing, and it grew. The more we shared, the more our products evolved. They either evolved faster or they died faster, which, as we all know in the startup world, super important, that if it's not viable, the startup dies quickly instead of a slow and painful death like my e-commerce business did. So the cool thing is, the more we shared, the more we understood how to connect with one another. And we grew. Like, we really grew. So much so that we turned back to the title slide. There we go. We really grew. And what's amazing is we grew because we all have our own superpower. We all have something to give. We give our energy, we give our attention, we give what we're uniquely qualified to do, what we were put here on this earth to do. I believe all of us have that. And maybe take a minute, think about what your superpower is. Because I know you all have a superpower. Because this community wouldn't be here without people like you. Literally every good idea that makes Verge what it is came from the community. The idea of the slow clap, someone just started doing that one time and everyone chimed in, and it became the new way we applauded people off the stage. Stickers on the name badge. Don't slow clap me yet. Stickers on the name badges. Everything to even having advisors. Advisors who would actually give feedback live right here and get the investors engaged with the community. Everything to having a fireside chat presenter, having technology you could demo, not just to geek out on, but talk about what that next product idea could be. What could a business model be wrapped around that new technology? The fireside chat presenter was a pivotal one. It was catalytic. Because what we found out is the fireside chat thing doesn't really work with a standing room only crowd like this. People get antsy, they want to have side conversations, they want to drink beer, they want to connect, right? Want to share our superpower. But what we found out was that fireside chat was perfect for a podcast. And last November, we launched a podcast. We were really fortunate to have some amazing presenters right off the bat. Right here, very first episode was said High Alpha partner, Christian Anderson. We were able to reach globally to some amazing entrepreneurs and investors. You guys gave great reviews. You guys subscribed. And we reached a whole new global audience with this brand, Powderkeg. So much so that we were able to get bigger and better speakers, including ones joining us here on the stage today, like Alicia, including our MC, Max Yoder, and including other Cincinnati entrepreneurs like Rodney, working on Listener in Cincinnati. We were named top podcast to listen to in 2017 before it was even 2017. And it's not because we're awesome, it's because you're awesome. I want to say thank you. Because I want to announce a confetti blast. We nailed it. We nailed that. Verge is now Powderkeg. And Peter, I'll dust your hair off later from all that confetti. Thank you, brave soul, for being in the front row. Verge is now becoming Powderkeg. This is our new global brand, not just to signify a change, but to signify that we are, for the first time ever, developing a product. And now that is the pitch I'm going to deliver to you right now. You ready? All right, cool. Because you're going to be a part of this, and you're going to be a part of this too. All right, so let's kick this thing off. These same things that happen, I'm going to go back a slide really quick. As Verge has scaled, the way it has scaled is literally by each and every one of you helping connect the entrepreneurs in this room, helping connect other entrepreneurs in this community, helping connect the professionals, the investors, and it's all happening in our inboxes. It's happening in our inboxes, it's happening at events like this, maybe it's happening on social media around some of the media that we're publishing, and that's great, that's going to continue. But we're at a point now, we're in 8 cities, growing every day, and we can't do this without technology. We're a community for technology entrepreneurs. And what I want to announce to you tonight is that we are, in fact, as of last week, breaking ground on building technology. So I want to present to you the Powderkeg Connections platform. All right, we're going to pick up the pace, don't worry. Powderkeg Connections platform. What we are doing with this, next slide. What we were doing with this is we are going to build this with you. And what I need from you guys is I need you to have feedback. I love Scott too. I want to get your feedback as we build this thing. We're going to be as open and transparent as possible, literally building with you a startup right here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and building it globally to connect this global network. The great thing is, like I said before, all of our best ideas, it's not because we're awesome, it's because you guys are awesome. And so I want to present to you 3 of the things that are on our product roadmap. We're going to need your help to help us prioritize those as we build. I'm going to tell you at the end how you can do that. This first idea was submitted by Scott Hill, and he's kind of the champion of this. So how many of you guys know Scott? Awesome guy, right? Co-founder, CEO of Perk. Scott, where are you? I can't see. Scott, raise your hand. He's back there. All right. So Scott's back there. He submitted this idea. He kept bugging me about it, making sure that we would build something like this. And so many of you have bugged me about, hey, we need this. Hey, we need that. We're now finally prioritizing and building all this stuff. This is the Stories platform. It's going to allow each and every one of you, not just the entrepreneurs in our community, but everyone, share their story, share their lessons learned, share what you're doing, building in your company, what you're learning as a professional, what you're learning as an investor. Everyone will be able to share on this platform. Some of the features we talked about is maybe even gamifying how we vote some of these things to the top of the community. And as we vote things to the top, what we'll do is we'll actually build and gain national media coverage for those stories. So we've actually partnered with Forbes, VentureBeat, Tech.co, Inc. Maybe you've seen some of these articles already, but you'll see these start to escalate as we expose more stories. Just as they're published on all of the amazing publications that are here, we want to get them on the Powderkeg platform so they can reach a national audience so people understand the amazing things that are being built here. Our next idea was submitted by Matthew Gordon, who is the CEO and co-founder of Expected Behavior. Matt, I think I saw you over here. Right here, Matt submitted this idea. I want to give him huge props. Matt's an amazing technologist and CEO. We're codenaming this Product Share, and we're calling it Product Share because it's going to allow you as entrepreneurs or as professionals to share your product with the community and get feedback. If we all buy and use each other's stuff, we're all going to get better because we're going to be giving each other, we're going to tell it like it is. We're not going to sugarcoat things, right? Right? We had to beat that out of us in the first couple years of Verge. Everyone was like super Midwest nice. But now we're giving like super transparent feedback. The other thing that we're doing is we're able to give access to free and discounted products. I know many of us have things that we'd like to offer up and say, hey, if you're part of this awesome community, I want you to get a discount. Or even try it for free. Let me know what you think. And when you're ready, upgrade. So I want to give Matt huge props for this. I really love the idea. I think that it's going to be as simple as pulling out your phone. We actually already have some screens designed for this, and some of this functionality already exists. It doesn't have to be limited to just software products. We talked about doing software, hardware, even equipment and services. So it's not limited. If you're not a product entrepreneur, it's not limited to just that. Everyone in this community is going to have an opportunity to be a part of this. Our next idea was submitted by Haley Altman, who's the CEO of Doxly, amazing company. Haley, are you here? Haley? She must be closing a deal because she totally texted me earlier today. Haley Altman is amazing. When she moved here from Silicon Valley, she was working as an attorney for startups, and she got very engaged. And I love that Haley is the champion of this, because she's been both an advisor to startups and now working as a co-founder and CEO of Doxly. She understands what it means to be in the trenches. So it's going to allow you to share your superpower. Think about what that is and engage in live conversations through Powderkeg. You're also going to get valuable connections. So what we're doing here tonight, and we do every month, it's going to allow you to do that daily and on demand. What's really cool is all of this is already being powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we've developed an amazing team that's going to help us build this product together. In January of this year, a good friend of mine, someone who was actually originally my boss, I worked for him back in 2011 when he was growing his company, Slingshot, going through a massive growth year. He led it through growth from $5 million in revenue to over $11 million in revenue in that year that we worked together. And I was along for the ride and fortunate enough to lead marketing for him while he was there. But he has led marketing and content strategy for literally more than 25% of the Forbes 500 list. Fortune 500 list. He's also just an amazing seller and gets product. So he's leading this. As of literally last week, officially, although he's been helping us out for like over a month now, we brought on board a CTO, Robert Harris, 3-time entrepreneur exit, building tech products, raised millions of dollars in capital, going all the way back to getting recruited out of Rose-Hulman to start his first company with Bob Compton, if that name rings a bell, who's one of the godfathers of this entire tech community here. We were super fortunate to have Robert, and we've built some really cool stuff for you. It's not just the leadership. We've got a kick-ass team. Where are you guys? Squad. We've got an awesome team that's here to support. Get your feedback. If we don't get it through the app, we're going to come knocking on your door and ask for it in person. Trust me, we've got grit and hustle, and I love this team. We're already sharing these stories on Forbes, Inc., VentureBeat, everywhere else. We're also in currently 8 cities. We'll be in 10 by the end of the year, hosting events like this. These events will not stop, don't worry. But we're going to do something even more than that. We'll be in 25 by the end of next year. And you'll be able to follow along and attend as you're on your own travels or decide you want to go check out other tech communities. You can go and check those out. We have amazing partners, national, regional partners. These are some of them here. I'm not going to talk through every single one of these, but you know who you are. Actually, I want to give a huge round of applause just for all of these amazing partners here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're building this with you guys. We're building this platform because we know that it's not about just the grind. It's about learning to play the game smart and play your career smart. We're doing this because it's not about overnight success. It's about just making that next step and making that the best next step. And we're building this because it's not about building something alone by yourself in a basement. It's about building things together and building things that matter and being connected while we do it. So my ask to you is, we have 3 dates. The first date is next Monday when we're doing a Facebook Live chat, and we'll be doing Facebook Live chats every Monday after that to get your product feedback live. We'll also be sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly of starting a startup and talking about product validation, talking about traction, or lack thereof. Who knows? If you guys don't like this stuff, then we won't have traction. But I think given as much feedback as we've had, given sort of the guidance that we've had with these champions on these different product features, we feel really good about this. The other date is next week. We're going to launch the entire Powderkeg site and ask for your feedback immediately. So think about it this weekend. Think about what you do. As you're in your everyday, day-to-day, think about what pisses you off. Like anytime you're feeling frustrated or feel like you're hitting friction or hitting a roadblock, write it down and literally email it to me, matt@powderkeg.com. Or any one of the people, robert@powderkeg.com. He's our CTO. But we'll actually have a feature for you to do that on the website. And then August 25th, we're going to do our live demo of this product. So we literally have a month to get this demo ready. And it's not going to be some vaporware demo. It's going to be demo ready so that you can use it, so we can connect in between events and make sure that we are doing this ongoing. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We have some amazing music planned for the rest of the evening. The bar is open. Their food is there. I want to give a huge, huge thank you to all of our presenters here tonight. Let's give it up one more time for all of our presenters. And I'm going to bring back our host for the evening, Mr. Max Yoder, to close things out. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight.